I'm 77 years old, and I need to tell you something that will sound harsh, but you need to hear it. You are teaching your daughter to erase herself. Right now, today, in every choice you make about your own life, you think you're showing her strength. You think you're teaching her responsibility. But what you're actually doing is handing her a blueprint for her own disappearance, and she will follow it. Exactly. I raised 2 daughters. I was a good mother. Everyone said so. I put them first. I put my husband first. I put his parents first when they got sick. I worked full-time and kept the house running and showed up to every school event and smiled through all of it. I thought I was teaching my girls how to be strong women, how to care, how to contribute, how to be valuable. I thought sacrifice was the same thing as love. I thought being needed meant I mattered. My daughters watched me skip meals so everyone else could eat first. They watched me say yes when I was exhausted. They watched me apologize for things that weren't my fault. They watched me fold myself smaller and smaller to make room for everyone else. And I never said a word about it. I thought I was protecting them, teaching them resilience. But children don't learn from what you say. They learn from what you do. And what they saw was a mother who believed her own needs didn't count. 3 years ago, my oldest daughter ended up in the hospital, not from an accident, not from an illness, from exhaustion, complete physical collapse. She had been working 60-hour weeks, managing her household, caring for her in-laws, raising 2 children, and trying to keep her marriage together. She hadn't slept more than 4 hours a night in months. She hadn't taken a day off in over a year, and one morning, her body just stopped. I sat next to her hospital bed holding her hand, and I kept asking, "Why didn't you tell someone? Why didn't you ask for help?" And she looked at me with tears running down her face and said, "Mom, I learned from you. You never stopped. You never complained. You never asked for anything. I thought that's what women do." That sentence destroyed me. Because it was true. I had taught her that, not with words, with my life. I had taught her that her value was in her usefulness, that love meant disappearing, that being a good woman meant erasing yourself until there was nothing left, and she had learned it perfectly. The lie I told myself for decades was this: I'll rest later. I'll take care of myself when things slow down. But things never slow down. You just get older and more tired and more resentful. And by the time you realize you've been waiting your whole life for permission to exist, the people you were serving don't even notice. Because they were never taught to see you. You taught them not to. You taught them that you don't need anything, that you're fine, that you're always available, and they believed you. My younger daughter told me last year that she didn't realize I had hobbies or interests until she was in her 20s. She said, "I just thought you existed to take care of us." That's what I taught her, without meaning to. I disappeared so completely into service that my own children didn't see me as a person, and now they're doing the same thing, disappearing into their jobs, their marriages, their children's needs, moving the goalposts every time they get close to rest. Once the kids are in school, I'll have time. Once I get the promotion, I'll slow down. Once we pay off the house, I'll focus on myself. The calendar doesn't care if you're ready. And time doesn't wait for you to finally decide you matter. I had a friend who did everything right. She raised 3 children. She supported her husband's career. She cared for her aging mother for 7 years. She retired at 65 and told everyone she was finally going to travel, finally going to paint again, finally going to live. She died 6 months later. Heart attack, no warning. Her children cleaned out her house and found notebooks full of plans, places she wanted to go, things she wanted to learn, A whole life she had been saving for later. Later never came. Another friend spent 40 years being the perfect wife. She cooked every meal. She managed every detail. She asked for nothing. When her husband died, she realized she had no idea who she was. She had spent so long being what he needed that she had forgotten she was a separate person. She sits alone now in a house full of things that don't belong to her, and she can't tell you a single thing she actually wanted because she stopped asking herself that question decades ago, and now it's too late to find out. I'm 77 now, and I can tell you this with certainty. No one will remember how clean your house was. No one will remember how much you sacrificed. They will remember whether you were present, whether you were real, whether they actually knew you. My daughters don't talk about how much I did for them. They talk about how invisible I was, how they never saw me rest, never saw me choose myself, never saw me say no, and now they're repeating the pattern because I taught them that women who matter are women who disappear. What I should have taught them was this: you can care about people without erasing yourself. You can contribute without becoming invisible. You can be kind without being consumed. But I didn't know that, so I never showed them, and now they're paying the price. You think you have time. You think there will be a moment when it's finally your turn, when the kids are grown, when the job is done, when the house is paid off. But here's what actually happens. The kids grow up and start their own lives. Your body gets older. Your energy decreases, and one day you wake up and realize you spent your entire life waiting for permission to live, permission that no one was ever going to give you, because the people who benefit from your disappearance will never tell you to stop. They don't see it. They don't know. You train them not to. I'm 77. My daughters are in their 40s. And I'm watching them destroy themselves the same way I did, because I showed them how, not with lectures, not with advice, with my life. If you have daughters, they are watching you. If you have sons, they are learning what to expect from women. If you have a partner, they are learning that you don't matter. And if you have yourself, you are teaching yourself that you were never worth caring about in the first place. You think this is noble. You think this is love, but it's not. It's erasure. And the people you love will never thank you for it, because by the time they realize what you gave up, you'll be gone, or you'll be so hollow that there's nothing left to recover. I can't undo what I taught my daughters, but you can stop teaching it right now. Not someday. Not when things slow down, now, because the clock is already moving, and your daughter is already learning. If this message landed, press like, not for me, not for the algorithm, but because it means someone out there heard it, and maybe, just maybe, it's not too late for them. Share this with a mother, a sister, a friend, someone who's still disappearing and doesn't even know it yet. Subscribe to this channel if you want to hear the truth before it's too late, because these conversations don't wait. And leave a comment answering this question. What did your mother teach you about your own worth, and are you teaching the same thing to your daughter? This isn't a message for me. My time is gone. This is for you, while you still have the chance to choose differently.